What's up, people? Cabin Game Fever here, and today I'm supposed to be talking to you about 5 games that I personally love, my nostalgic choices that I always find myself coming back to. I've been asked to do this by my good friends 16bitsandbobs and Retro Crisis. However, I don't want to really do that, boys, I'm afraid, because what can I say? I feel like if you hear my top 5 choices, you're not going to be that amazed, you know. Frankly, I think it might be a bit more exciting. Instead of my top 5 favourite games that I'm always coming back to, what about my top 5 hidden gems that I keep coming back to? How does that sound? I think that sounds better. I'm up for that. I think, you know, why not impart a bit of personal experience with games I've come to a bit later on that I've really enjoyed. And without further ado, let's kick things off with the NES. Everyone knows I love the NES. I beat every game for the NES in the UK. I never shut up about it. I'm not showing up about it today. I'm going to carry on. Little Nemo, the Dream Master. Anyone ever play this game? It is awesome. It is flipping awesome. I believe it's Capcom. I can't remember if it is. I believe it is Capcom. It doesn't say anywhere on there, but I think it was designed by them, even though it doesn't have their logo on the box. Might be wrong about that. I have to do my research before I put up. There might be a little correction down there, but I'm pretty sure it's Capcom. Whoever it is, you play this little boy. He's in a dream. He wanders around. He can basically dose weird animals in his dream with sort of like rehypnol laced candy, and then they sort of fall into a slumber. He just rips open their mouth, pulls out their innards, climbs inside their carcasses, wears them, then he can run around in their bloody carcass like impersonating them and pretending to be a bee and all that kind of stuff. I mean, yeah, it's maybe handled a little bit less gruesomely for the 8-bit market, so you know, you tend to actually become a bee and you can do some fun bee things, and you can do some fun crab things, and you can do some fun bird things and gorilla things. Listen, it's just great fun. There's loads of animals that you can take hold of, like moles, like I said, bees. Yeah, there's loads fish. There's great things. Every level's got a different couple of animals that you can take on. There's cool puzzles to solve. There's interesting, tricky little bits to sort of work out, and it gets hard. It's also a game of 2 halves. You get to the end of the game, you get to Nightmare Land, I think it's called. You go into a nightmare dream. If you already thought you were already in a nightmare, you were mistaken. You were in the happy dreams. But later on, you get to Nightmare Land, and stuff really does get nightmarish. Shit gets real, and that's when the game gets a bit tough. Especially as when you die anywhere in Nightmare Land, you go back to the beginning, or when you use a continue, I think, you go back to the beginning of Nightmare Land. So that is hard, man. That makes the game brutal. And all you save staters these days, you cheaters, you might get through it easier, but for the real, you know, gamers out there, you know who you are. Yeah, it's a bit tough at the end. But hey ho, it's not the hardest game on the NES, and it's well worth a play. Even if you think you're not that great at NES games, I definitely recommend playing it because it's great fun. And yeah, it's a quality game. Looks great, plays great. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Right, next up. Going 16-bit. Super Nintendo. What is this? What kind of a cartridge is that? It's not a PAL cartridge, that's right. We're going NTSC. Because this was only released over in America, and Japan obviously, but not released over here. And this is Metal Warriors. Now this game is a badass mech fighter. A bit like a Cybernator or Assault Suit, whatever the Japanese name for that is. Is Cybernator better? Maybe, maybe not. Oh no, this is different. This one's got the cool mechanic of allowing you to get outside of your mech and walk around as a little guy, and you can shoot and stuff in there, which makes a whole new dimension, you know. It's a really hard game, but it's really, really, really cool. And do you know what? I'm putting it in my hidden gems. There are loads of Super Nintendo hidden gems I've got to talk about for this. Loads. Ones that I've beaten already, actually. But I've gone with this one because this is a rare game, man. But it's also really damn good. But it's going to cost a fortune to get it. So I would suggest it's actually on the Switch collection on Super Nintendo. I believe it's on there. It's made by Konami, so look, that's just quality. I'm pretty sure it's on Switch now. If not, just get a ROM of it, man. But play this game. It is wicked. If only just to play it for a little while to get a flavour of those kind of styles that you can get on Super Nintendo at the time. Great game. I love it. I'm really looking forward to beating this one. I mean, it's Konami, so let's be fair. Like, it can only be good. I haven't beaten it yet. It will be coming soon. Cost me a fortune to get it, so I've got to get my money's worth from this one. But yeah, Metal Warriors. That's a good one. Right, next up. Shall we go... Do you know what? Let's go. Let's go with... You've probably been seeing this in the corner, so it's going to give it away. But we're going to go 16 bits and bobs. No, we're going to go 16 bits still, and we're going to be going to the Mega Drive, the fanboy system of Mr. 16 bits and bobs. And it's talking about Dynamite, Heady. Yes, Treasure. Treasure are an awesome games producer. If you don't know about Treasure, you should know about Treasure. So treasure this knowledge and get out there and find some treasure. Get digging, looking in the garden, looking for X's, that kind of thing. You know, just dig around. You might find something. If you do, you've done very well, because treasure games are rare. Actually, this one's not even that rare, but a lot of them are rare and expensive. Dynamite Heady is actually probably one of the most affordable treasure games. I picked this one up for I think about 18 quid. Wasn't that long ago either, so maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. Anyway, quality game. Looks amazing. Plays great. It's a platformer. It's a crazy platformer. Like all treasure games, so much energy and love and attention put into the programming of this game. Like, every character animation is fantastic. Every pixel of animation is beautifully done. And it's fast. It's just great. And I love Dynamite himself, the character. He, hence the name Heady. He can swap his heads. He can, and his different heads that he puts on do different things, which gives like a whole new dimension to the gameplay and makes you think and makes you be creative. He's kind of on a similar path to quite a few other Mega Drive games like Kid Chameleon, Decap Attack, Magical Hat Adventure. There's quite a few that have this kind of like changeable head, changeable suit kind of thing. But those are all three of those are great games. But this is possibly my favourite. I do love Kid Chameleon, actually. I think that's a really cool game. But this is a more polished game than that, and it looks better. And yeah, it's just an awesome game. It's hard though. Come on, man, it's Treasure. They're not there for beginners. This is the business end of gaming. But it's worth it. You should commit yourself to it. Give it the time. Play it some more. Get angry. Put it down. Pick it up and play it some more. Get more angry. Put it down again. Play it some more. Maybe break a controller. Whatever gets you through it. But it's worth playing. Right. Next up, we are going to stick with the Mega Drive. We're going to go to the Mega CD. And we're talking about the Terminator. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Terminator. Now, listen, if you've played Terminator on the Mega Drive, you might have thought it was an okay game. I mean, it's all right. But listen, that's not what this game is. A lot of the time, Mega CD games were essentially just a kind of upgraded, slightly more colourful, slightly better looking, and certainly with better audio version of the cartridge game. And I think a lot of people made that mistake by thinking that was the same here, because it does feature pretty much the same artwork. But this is anything but the same game. This is a very different game. In this game, you're playing... are you playing Kyle? Whatever his surname is. Michael Bean. I can't remember if you're playing him or if you're playing just another... guy from the past. I think you are playing him. No, I think you are. It makes sense. You are playing him. But you're going. But you're running through every. Oh, Carl Reese. It says here. It says it on the back cabin. What are you talking about? It says right here, Carl Reese. He got his name and it tells you it's him. So what are you talking about? You're playing Carl Reese. You're playing through the Terminator. You begin the game. The first few levels take place in the future, and then you get to the point where you get sent back into the past, and then somehow the later levels in the game are taking place in the past and you're just fighting a few street punks and stuff, but that's supposed to be harder than fighting crazy Terminators and stuff that you fight at the beginning. But, you know, whatever. It is harder as it goes on. I haven't beaten it yet. As you all know, I'm working through beating all my games, but we're doing it in system order. And so we've done we've done all that. We've done NES. We're on Super Nintendo. Mega Drive's coming. Don't you worry. We're going to get there. But from a casual point of view, I've got pretty far in this game a few times, and I've come back to it lots of times. Awesome game. Awesome action. Awesome music. I mean, I don't know how many more awesomes I can throw at this game, but if you haven't played it, you should play it. It's rare though, and it's well, it's not even that rare. It's just expensive. It's an expensive title. It's a must-have title for this Mega CD, and we all know how those go up in price as years gone on. You know, I didn't exactly pay peanuts for this, you know, 10 years ago. So I'm sure it's only got more expensive since then. But hey, you know, I'm sure there might be other ways to play it. You can just burn a CD and get your Mega CD chip. That's what a lot of people do. Mine's region free and all that, so I can play copied games. So maybe that's a good way forward if that's what you want to do, or play it on a ROM. Whatever, play it. It is awesome. Right, that leaves one game left, and we've got one system left to talk about. Have other systems. Should do another one of these videos. Will do another one of these videos. But for now, we're going to finish with the PlayStation 1, which is, besides the Super Nintendo, I want to say, my favourite system, because it's the systems that I had growing up. Super Nintendo, I had NES as well. I love NES as well, don't get me wrong. People think that NES is my favourite. It's not. It was the first I had, and I do love it. But the Super Nintendo is my favourite, and this is my second favourite with the PlayStation. And this game, actually, it's not my favourite game, but it is damn cool. Martian Gothic Unification. Survival horror. Who doesn't love survival horror? Man loves survival horror. Yes, I do. And Resident Evil 1 is actually my favourite survival horror game of the early systems. I love that game to pieces, as more than Resident Evil 2, which I also love. But there are loads of fantastic survival horrors, but this one kicks ass, man. Does it kick Resident Evil's ass? Probably not. But you're all bored. And if I was to show you my list of favourite games ever, which I was told to do, that would have been on it. But that list is boring, man. This is a really cool game you probably haven't heard of. And if you like early survival horror and you're thinking you're being left field by playing Dino Crisis or Parasite Eve, think again. Think again. Get yourself Martian Gothic Unification, because you are going to be entered into a new realm of survival horror, which still follows the same pre-rendered tank controls, stuff that you love, and you do love it. Don't tell me you don't love it, because you do. We all love that stuff from the PlayStation 1. Now you've got the opportunity to take that onto Mars. And who doesn't want to do that? And the bonus in this game is you've got 3 characters to control all at the same time. That's original, isn't it? Because you don't get that in the other games, as far as I remember. Maybe in Dino Crisis, can't remember. Anyway, in this one, you do get 3 characters, and you can switch between them, you know. But the neat thing is, which I assume is being designed this way as some sort of like game-saving mechanic to programming feature, but you can't bring your characters into the same room, because if they meet each other, oh my God, there's like a parallax and universal, God knows, interdimensional flipping whirlwind wormhole. I don't know what happens, but basically all shit breaks loose and the game fucking dies and you're gone. So you cannot run them into each other. I mean, there is actually a story behind it. It's because they're infected with some sort of like thing-like creature, which, I don't know. I don't remember the story. It's a great story, but I don't remember. But you just can't make your characters meet, which kind of adds a bit of tension when you're running around the place. You know, where did I leave my other guy? Is he in this room? Oh, I don't want to go into it. So that's cool. Other than that, it's just really atmospheric in a really like good way. Like it holds up today still. It's creepy. The alien thing-like creatures are really, really cool and creepy. It's got good puzzles. It's got it's everything you want. It's Resident Evil in space without zombies, but with like weird alien things. Yeah, great game. Play this game if you like survival horror games and you want to do something different. Right, that's it. That's been the cabin, and this has been 5 games that I have thought are really, really cool, that I like coming back to, but aren't my favourite games. They're just games that I really like, that aren't that well known, and I kind of like hidden gemmy, and, you know, whatever. I hope you like them too. If you don't like them, I don't really care. See you later.